What's going on, guys? Plastic Beach X3 back here with the Culver's Crew UA channel, and we have another another team member of the Culver's Crew, Aaron.
So,
Gonna review all the new Bleach Volume 2 cards. Aaron is a Bleach stan, right? Big Bleach
the
guy?
go.
Okay,
Oh
so
wait,
we're gonna go over the new cards that come out in set 2. So, from what I understand, I haven't played a lot of Bleach. The yellow, purple, and green all get support, and blue is totally new.
yeah, a lot more blue cards than the other sets.
Okay, so wait, is blue totally new? Is that like a brand new color to the game?
Yes, new
Okay.
color, and they have a lot more cards compared to the other colors to make up for it.
Oh, really? Oh, you mean like it just in this set? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, okay, okay. All right. All right. So you want to start yellow and just go
yeah.
down?
Work way down from there.
Sure. All right. So I'll start. We have 3-drop Askin Knock Levar, 1 action point, 2 energy generation step. Activate main once per turn. If there's a character with BP less than its base BP or a resting character on your opponent's front line, this character gains 1,000 until the end of the turn.
Yeah, it's pretty like it's nice in pre-release if you're playing any of those, but I don't imagine I'll see any real play in the yellow decks. It has a cool effect to make it a 4K swing, but it takes a little more than that without a trigger.
And what's the yellow deck's like gimmick? The main one?
The yellow deck just plays there's like 5 of the Bambi characters that have different names, but it focuses on just like, the typical yellow resting your opponent's stuff, and the raids are both pretty good for it.
Okay. And then you can do this one.
Yeah, and the Uryu, activate main, place 1 card from your hand to sideline, and you can choose one of the 2 abilities. If you have Yuha, you can use both them. So you can either give him 1,000, or you can swap one of your front and energy line characters. So I actually think this card's pretty good and probably the strongest yellow double energy card. Just because even if you're not on the Yuha, being able to swap to get a swing in or just make him a 4K is both pretty good. And he actually has a draw trigger, which sets him apart.
Okay. Okay. And is he for the Bambi deck or the other deck? The Stern Ritter?
He's for the other deck, but the Bambi deck will still play him, I believe.
Okay. Then we have Baz B, who's also a Stern Ritter. 2 energy, action point 1 energy generation, active trigger, 3,000 BP, activate main if on the front line. Place 1 card from hand into sideline once per turn. Choose 1 character with 1,500 or more BP on your opponent's field. It loses 1,000 until the end of the turn. So it can like proc your other effects, right? That your opponent's BP is less than your, or like different than their base BP.
Yeah, like it would work with the Asking if you are playing a more Sternritter deck. Uh, I think it's a cool card. I don't imagine it will make it into either of the yellow decks, but it is you know, cool art. Uh, Moderately alright effect. Just probably just doesn't quite get there.
Okay.
And
The
now the
Jugram.
Drugrim, yeah, it's you can raid the set 1 Drugrim onto this, but when played, if Yuha is on your field and you have less cards in your hand than your opponent, you draw 1. 4/1, 1 energy generation, and it's a small boss monster, but the yellow Surrender deck kind of just wants to get good raids out and have some good triggers, which this one can't really provide. It just seems a little clunky.
Okay. Even if it is another raid target for the, because I don't know what the other one does
Yeah,
against the
like
Jugram raid.
you don't really want to raid your 4K body if you can choose to.
Yep, that's fair. We have 3-drop Toshiro, who's a 13 court guard squad and a zombie. Action point 1 energy generation, active trigger. When played, if this character is played with an ability on one of your characters, choose up to 1 character on your opponent's front line and switch it to resting.
Yeah, and this card's definitely going to see some play in the Bambi's deck. They can search zombie affiliations as well as the Bambi affiliation,
Mm,
I believe. And I think this card it can be played off the effect as it mentions. I believe the Giselle is the main one, but it's just a solid card in the deck and not like the absolute centerpiece, but is good.
Because the deck gets effects if your opponent has rested cards, right?
Yeah.
And then it can place other stuff, so fits right in.
Yeah, and you can rest something, and then like the Bambi raid from the first set is able to KO any rested card.
Oh, okay. That's pretty correct. You can rest anything. Yeah.
Yep. And I think the Bambi raid from set one can also just KO any rested character if
Yeah.
it's your when you raid her. So pops anything. And then here's a new Bambietta, 4/1, 1 energy generation. It's the color trigger that you're going to be playing in the deck. And when played, if you used one of your abilities to play her, draw a card, and then activate main, you can pay 1 AP to give it impact 1. So it can both be a late game impactor or in like just being a good color trigger that you can search as well. Is very useful. And has a cool altar as well. We'll see probably a 4 of in the Bambi deck.
Okay. You have Candace Catnip. There's a Bambi, Stern Ritter, 3 energy, action point 1, 2 energy generation. When played, all characters with 1,000 or more BP on your opponent's front line lose 500 until the end of the turn, and it's an active trigger.
Yep, this one is also double energy for the deck, similar to the Uryu. She'll probably be fighting with Uryu for the spot in the Bambi deck a little bit, maybe like a 3-3 split. Like, even though you can search her, her effect might be a little less relevant, but it is still pretty good. And it's more of a could be a preference thing, but both of them do have strong effects. It's just unsure if all 8 of the double energies will make it in.
Yeah. Seems alright. And then just the 0 drop 1 action point Giselle, draw 1, trash 1, draw a trigger.
Yeah, pretty typical instant 4 of.
Yep. And then we have the action point 2 Giselle. I'll let you read that.
Yeah, so 4/2, the 4K. It's not a raid for Giselle, but it is just the boss monster of her. And if you have 3 or more other Bambi affinity or zombie affinities, or just Bambietta, a lot of criteria for it that you can meet. You just draw 2 and then place 2 from your hand to the sideline. And if she's on the front line, once per turn, you can sideline one of your characters that are not a zombie. And if you do, play a zombie from your sideline active on your field. So it's actually pretty good. You can get rid of any of your early game zeros, like the Giselle from just before, and then play the Bambietta or Toshiro active, and then you can get their effects off for playing them off this card.
That's pretty good. You can turn a 0 drop
Yeah,
into a
the
3 drop.
main crux of the deck.
It's pretty good.
Similar to Gojo from Purple GTK, I'd say, where you play a 4/2 that just you want to activate every turn.
And then we have 0 drop 1 action point Meninas. When sideline, choose
Yeah.
up to 1 character with 2,000 or less BP, and on your opponent's front line, switch it to resting. No trigger.
Yeah, and this one is play like some people are playing this one in the Bambi's deck because it's searchable in a 0. I personally am a little iffy about it because there's no trigger, but its effect is relevant with the deck because that Giselle can sideline her to play a zombie, and then you can rest one of your opponent's cards. But it's still it probably gets in the deck, just not as high priority as the Giselle, of course, that has the generic draw 1, trash 1 effect. Still pretty good. And the last of the other 4 Bambis is Loloto. You can reveal top 3 and find any Bambi or Bambietta herself and add them to hand. And then if you added a card, place one to the sideline. Pretty good searcher. No trigger, but is just a card that you are going to want to play for consistency. Try to find the Giselle as much as possible.
Okay. So pretty good overall. And we have a new event. 4 drop action point 1 special. Sclave Rye. Choose 1 character on your opponent's front line with BP equal to or less than 1,000 multiplied by the combined total number of Bambietta and Bambi's affinity cards on your field and sideline it. So if you have essentially 5, you can kill anything. 4,
Yeah, it's
4.
pretty much more of a pretty good special, I think. Better than average. since most of your deck, other than the zombies, are gonna be counted for it. It hurts a little bit if you do choose to play the Uryu heavier in the deck because there's a chance you might not have as much. But I think it's just a pretty good special in general.
So overall verdict on the new yellow cards, Aaron?
Yeah, I think the yellow deck actually is pretty cool looking, and I have not seen the games against purple with it yet, but I do imagine it will still be a relevant deck for the rare battle format, and unsure about aside from it though.
Huh? Not bad then.
Yeah, I will definitely be making the deck myself to try it out.
All right, so that's all the yellow cards. Let's get into the blue cards here, and I'll start with Orihime. 2-drop action point 1 energy generation, draw trigger 3000. When this card is placed from your hand into your sideline by an ability on a blue Ichigo on your field, choose up to one Ichigo on your field. It gains this character cannot be chosen by your opponent's character or trigger abilities until the start of your next turn.
Yeah, actually, like this card. It kind of reminds me of the Garo special,
Yeah.
where it protects your guy from specials, but better in the sense that like they don't just add it to hand.
So it's just like
Uh,
a free discard outlet. Like it gains ability when it's placed.
yeah, because some of your, as you'll see with some of the cards, some of them just like get effects for being pitched as well. But uh, Blue Bleach has both Ichigo's main group, and then there's a zombie affiliation with Mayuri.
Okay.
Uh, but I believe this first section will mostly be like Ichigo and his friends. But I think this card is maybe not an instant 4 of, but a solid card for the deck.
Okay.
And then here's the Rare Orihime, which will be the color trigger for the deck. 3/1 double energy. When played, you can return one of your characters with 2 or less required energy. And if you do, you can add one with 2 or less required energy from sideline to hand. So a pretty good card advantage tool, and it's also kind of like the usual double energy like bouncers.
Mm-hmm.
So it might hurt like if you try to play aggressive with the deck, but it's still a very strong card and a color trigger that you are going to play.
Seems heat and it gets more cards in your hand for discards, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's the value there. And we have Kisuke Urahaha. 1
Urahara.
Urahaha. 1 energy, 1 action point, 1 energy generation. Draw a card trigger 1500. When played, like the top 3. Reveal 1 character card with no affinities among them. Add it to your hand, and then place the remaining in the bottom, and then discard a card. So,
Yeah.
well, it looks
I'm
like most of these don't have any affinities, so.
Yeah, the Ichigo and Orihime and Chad do not. The Rukia, Byakuya, and Renji do. But I will have to like see the actual numbers in the deck because like I imagine it being a searcher is quite good for the deck. But some cards will just not be able to be searched that are key for the deck.
It's nice that it's a searcher with a trigger. You don't see that too often.
Yes, it is a good searcher with a trigger.
We have Ichigo, 0-drop, 1 action point, draw a card, trash 1, draw a card trigger.
Classic for a Ray target.
And then we got Ichigo.
Yeah, this one is activate main, place 1 from hand to sideline, and you can just do this as much as you want, but you only need to do it once, of course. No, it is once per turn, sorry. And then the character cannot be blocked by 4,000 or more until end of turn. So I imagine you'll play him in the deck as well, just another raid target and a good stat line. It doesn't have a trigger, but even if you don't raid him, you can have like evasion for free blocks with his effect.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty good discard as well.
We have 4-drop, action point 2, Ichigo, active trigger 4000, 1 energy. When played, choose up to 1 character with 4000 or less BP on your opponent's front line, return it to their hand. That's pretty good. It's just
Yeah,
Ichigo. Or not Ichigo, but what am I
get
thinking
rid of
of?
something.
Yuji.
Yep.
And then activate main if on the front line. Once returned, draw a card, then place 1 from your hand into your side. I'm assuming that procs your discard abilities.
Yes, and you can just play like it's 2 AP, but it is good removal. Uh, you know, you could almost compare it to the yellow Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, the 2-drop one that had the
Mm-hmm.
color trigger. But it gets rid of a 4,000. Very good,
Yeah, it's
even if
strong.
it sent it back to hand. And having a secondary effect, just draw one once per turn, or like cycle one, is just a very good card.
Yeah, I feel like you play this strong.
Yep, definitely a 4 of.
Then we have our raid.
Yeah, and this raid is the Ichigo 4-1. When you play him on your Ichigo, you choose two of your opponent's characters with 2,000 or more, and they'll lose 1,500. So you can't actually kill anything with it, but you can weaken two stuff. And then once per turn, you can place a Zangetsu or a Getsuga card in from your hand to the sideline. And if you do, draw a card and give him up to 5,000, and then when attacking, draw one till the end of the turn. So it's a pretty good raid. Will definitely help you get your swings through the turn you play him. And secondary effect is a pitch outlet.
You think it's pretty good overall? Like,
Yeah, I think it's quite a good raid.
okay.
Like no impact or anything like that, but I think it's just pretty much the main boss of the deck.
Okay. And then we have Chad. He's a 1 energy, 1 action point, 2 energy generation. Return another card with 1 or less energy, and if you can't, return it to your hand. So every deck
Yeah,
has.
usual bouncer.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't make it the cut, but
Yeah. And then we have Zangetsu, 0-drop action, or yeah, 0-drop action point 1. Active, 1,500, 1 energy generation. When this card is placed from your hand into your sideline by an ability on a blue Ichigo, that Ichigo may gain. This character cannot be blocked with a character with 3,000 less BP until the end of the turn.
yes, this Sangetsu is pretty good because with the raid Ichigo that was shown previously, you can discard him off his ability to get him up to 5,000, and then you can the turn you play him as well, you'll minus two things by 1,500, so you can almost make the raid Ichigo unblockable
Mm.
if assuming the opponent doesn't have a great board state, and just one of the small combos that you can easily perform with the deck while also being a 0-1.
Yeah, it's good 0-drop, active trigger.
Ganju, he's the typical rest him to get double energy and then sideline him. Not very good in the deck, but it is searchable off the Kisuke.
And then we have a vanilla 1-drop, 1 action point Yushiro. Draw card trigger, vanilla.
Yeah, probably not gonna make it either.
We have 4-drop action point 1 Yorichi. Activate main, 3,500. During your turn, it gains 500 just generically, so it's 4,000 on your turn. And then when played, if you have placed a card from your hand into your sideline this turn, play up to 1 blue character card with 1 or less required energy, 1 AP cost, and no affinities from your hand, set it to resting.
Yeah, and it also goes along with just like the no affiliation, but is a little bad of a boss character compared to the 4-2 Ichigo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seems alright, but yeah.
Not
Seems
quite
like
good enough.
is that everything for the Ichigoan guys, friends?
It'll also like the Renji, Byakuya, and Rukia are also kind of part of the deck, but
Okay.
it's the end of like the no affiliation cards.
Alright, so we'll just do the Renji then. Renji 0-drop action point 1, active.
Yeah, and this one actually might not make it in the deck just because you already have the Ichigo that cycles a card, the Zangetsu, and then there's going to be a Rukia raid target later. So as good as like the Renji is, it's just a generic vanilla. He is might not make the cut. And this Renji, 2-1, 3,000, 1 AP generation or energy. And then when you play him, you choose one character with 2 or more AP cost. And then they'll get impact +1 until the end of turn with a draw trigger. So I think it's a pretty strong card. It can only target your 2 AP cost cards, but it is a solid card. So if you are on more of the Renji or Byakuya super rares, then he is a great card for those decks. But he can also target the 2 AP Ichigo as well.
Yeah, this. Is there 1 2 AP we've seen yet?
Yeah, the rare Ichigo that bounces.
Oh, yep, this one. Then we have the 1-drop, 1 action point Renji. During your turn, this character gains 500 for each character on your front line with 2 or more base AP. Active trigger. Seems All right, if you're playing that,
Y-
like you said, that heavy 2 AP deck.
Yeah, and if you're on a heavier Renji Byakuya list and you wouldn't be playing the Kisuke, he's your one energy character to play.
Yeah, you can also play him off of who? Someone up here, right?
There was
There was something
no
that
one to
said
play him
play
off
a
of,
one
but
drop. I thought. Oh,
there's the
the
Ori.
Urichi.
Oh yeah. I forgot about her effect. Yeah, and you can also get him back off the Orihime, but
Oh no, he has an affinity. He can't be played off of her.
oh yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, he's just a fairly generic stat body.
I'll let you do the action point two, Rinji.
Yeah, 3-2 Renji, 4,000 power. He has Nullify Impact. And when you play him, you can place one card from your hand to the sideline. If you do, set an AP active.
Mm.
So you can basically play him as a 3-1 if you discard. And then if activate main, if there's another character on your front line with 2 or more AP, set him active.
Mm.
So he's solid.
Yeah.
If you are on that strategy, you can just get another active character for a pretty low cost. Like you do have to discard a card, but still 3-1, 4,000 effectively.
Yeah, my concern is that like the activate main is only gonna ever come up on that first turn, right? That you play him.
Yeah, it will only come up on the first turn, but doesn't need to be too crazy. Like I just worry that with that archetype in general, having too many 2 AP cards will just make it a little clunky.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you. I'll do Byakuya. So two
Yep.
drop action point one Byakuya. If it's active, it gains double energy. So like Gojo,
Yep.
pretty good.
The usual.
13 court guard. Is this like one of the friends?
Yeah, it's the same archetype, but
Okay.
as the Renji, because it's a 4-2 Byakuya, and then he will be the color trigger if you are on the more Squad 6 type affiliation with Byakuya and Renji. But when played, if you have a Ruki on your field has been played this turn, choose one of your AP instead of active, and or you can reduce the AP of the next Rukia by 1, and then when attacking, you draw 1.
Okay,
So
that's reasonable.
you can't really play him in like the same deck as the double energy Ichigo, which separates the like this one archetype into like 2 different strategies with it. And I believe that like the Ichigo package is stronger, but the Renji and Byakuya do have effects to make up for them being 2 AP cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they seem like their whole gimmick is they're two AP, but they get to restand one, so they're effectively one AP.
Yeah.
All right, and then for the Rukia cards, we have a zero drop action point one Rukia, get trigger, 4 of if I'm assuming if you're playing the Raid Rukia.
Yeah. I imagine both the Ichigo and Byakuya Renji list are using the Rukia package.
Then we have two
And the
drop.
2-drop Rukia,
Yep, go ahead.
when played, look at the top 5, reveal a 2 or more base AP and add it to hand. Place the rest on bottom. Obviously, very strong if you're on the Renji and Byakuya, but if you're on the Ichigo list, you probably don't play her as heavily.
Yep. We got 3 drop action point one Rukia, 2 energy generation. When played, draw a card, then place 1 card from your hand to your sideline. If there is a character with 2 or more base AP, you may just draw the card instead.
Yeah, again, go with the Byakuya Renji, but you will still play a couple of her in the Ichigo list just for like lack of double energy in that deck.
Oh, okay, and no trigger. Yeah. And then I'll let you do Rukia.
Yep, Raid Rukia, 4-1, 4,000. When you play her, if on the front line, choose one character on your opponent's front line and rest it. And if it is your turn and there's a character with 2 or more base AP on your front line, it will remain resting until this character leaves the front line
Oh
instead.
wow.
Which, yeah, that's stronger than the Toshiro effect, even the green Toshiro from set 1, which I believe you'll still play her in the Ichigo deck. It just only might activate off of your Ichigo, and she might be another quick raid to get in.
Yeah, that seems strong.
But yeah, quite a strong raid.
Yeah, pretty cool. Um, you said you'll play her even in this deck.
I believe so. Yeah, just having a good raid and the 2 AP Ichigo is good. Uh, I imagine that like the typical blue list will be on for like the stronger Ichigo stuff, while also being on maybe one or two Renji or Byakuya's, just to have like extra 2 AP targets, and then
Mm-hmm.
the Rukia, like some of the Rukia line, not all of it.
Hmm.
And there are two different specials for the, or I guess three different blue specials if you want to go down there for a second and see the Getsuga Jisho,
I can
Jujisho.
see two of them, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so this is a 3-1 special event, Getsuga Jujisho, and then you choose one character with 35 or less on your opponent's front line and sideline it. When this card is placed from your hand into the sideline by one of your ability blue Ichigos, you may place one card from your hand to the bottom. If you do, that Ichigo gains double attack for the first time this turn. When it swings, it'll come to active for the first time that turn.
so a little less strong of a removal special, of course.
Yeah,
At
but double attack
4,000.
is very strong in the game.
But your raid minus is what, 15?
Yeah, it minuses 15 to two things.
So you can go to 5,000 with this, and then, or at any point in time, you proc your one of your Ichigo abilities. You can give a double attack by discarding another card, or bottoming.
Yeah, you can even as early as like turn 3, I suppose. You can play the 2-drop Ichigo that you discard a card to make it unblocked by 3,000 or more, and you can give it double attack. Just like try to get 2 easy hits in.
Yeah, it seems like a strong card.
And yeah, and
Only 3.
alternatively, there is the Rukia special.
You this one?
No, it's 2 to the right.
Oh,
Yep.
there it is. Haken no Togami. 4-drop action point 1. Choose one character with 3,000 less BP on the opponent's front line, or if Ruki is on the field, 5,000 instead.
Yeah, so if you do choose to not play as heavy of the Ichigo package, then this is better. But if you are on more of the Ichigos, then you are just going to be on Getsuga Jujusho
Hmm.
because you don't even need an Ichigo on your field to get the pop on for that.
Then we have
Also, for
final
the
art of Bankai.
Jujisho,
Oh,
yeah, Bankai, the final trigger. It is a 3-1 special, so you can even play it earlier if you just want to out something quickly on the opponent's line.
and then the new alt art of Bankai, I'm assuming.
No, it's just the blue one.
Oh,
Blue
yeah,
has a
yeah, 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 yeah. All right, so I'm assuming that's all the Ichigo like stuff, and then we can move
yeah. Now it's
into
more of the Mayuri and zombie package.
the zombie package. So I guess we'll start with 3-drop action point 1, Nemu. 13 court guard squad, 2 energy generation, activate main once per turn. Sideline 1 character on your field with Kurosuchi Corpse unit affinity. If you do, so notably not himself. If you do, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal one Mayuri, Nemu, or Corpse Unit affinity card among them, add it to your hand, and then place the bottom in the deck so you don't have to discard, but you do have to sideline a character.
Yeah, this the blue Mayuri corpse unit, uh, they will mostly have effects for when sidelining them, similar to purple JJK as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this one in particular, while not having a trigger, is a very good card, 3-1 double energy, and will just provide you card advantage for sacrificing your characters. Very strong.
Alright, we have 0-drop 1 X point Mary Vanilla. I'm assuming you play this for of get trigger.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
Here's a 4-1 Mayuri, 4,000 power. When played, sideline one character on your field with Cartucci Corpse affinity. And you may choose one character on your opponent's front line with BP equal to or less than it and sideline it or draw a card. Another very strong card. I have not seen the like as many decks like with the Mayuri package, but seems quite strong as an additional uh, boss monster.
yeah, because at the very least, you if you have 4 action or if you have 4 energy already, you can just play him, sideline himself, right? No, he's not a corpse. He's not a corpse unit.
Yeah,
So that'd be
but you can either play him, sacrifice one of your guys, and draw a card, and as you'll see soon, that they pretty much all have like win sideline effects.
Yeah, I was
So
just thinking
you
it'd
are
be cool if
value.
he could sideline himself, kill 4,000. That'd be super value. Just draw a card. That might be
Yeah, if
too
he had a
busted.
trigger, he would definitely be a more valuable 4 of, but it might more be like a 2 or 3 of.
Okay.
Then again, there's not as many options compared to the Ichigo package.
Then we have
And under
four.
the Raid Mayuri,
Yep.
4/1, 4,000 BP. When you play him, you can choose one Nemu or Corpse Unit Affinity, and it will gain 1,000 and impact 1 until the end of the turn. And then activate main if on frontline. You can only use this ability if a character has been sidelined this turn. And then play one blue Nemu with 1 AP or one blue character with Corpse Unit Affinity with 1 AP from your sideline set to resting.
It's pretty good.
And he is the main character of the deck, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every
Gets free
single
value.
turn.
Yeah. Similar to the yellow Bambies, you just want to kind of kill some of your stuff and then get good effects and a lot of card value. But it will be very harmful to both of those decks if you are able to remove the Mayuri or remove the Giselle.
Yeah, because obviously they're super value, just summoning something back every single turn.
Yeah. And of course, the Ray Trigger is very nice as well. Just it can buff something by 1,000 to make it a better block as well.
Mm,
But that might not come up as often.
sure. Then we have Charlotte. They turned me into a card. 2 drop action point 1. This one is a corpse unit. Active trigger when sidelined. If it is your turn, choose up to one character on your opponent's front line, switch it to resting, and you can only activate one of him per turn. So
Yeah, and
not bad.
he's he's a good rest one of your opponent's guys just to like get in for more damage.
You're probably playing him
And
just because he's something that procs when he hits the trash.
yeah. And I imagine most the corpse cards you almost have to play just out of like lack of option. And also they are just all pretty alright. Same for this one.
And then we have 0 drop Sander Witchy. Corpse unit on one
Win sideline,
sideline,
draw.
draw.
That's all there is to her. 1,000 BP is low, but it's a good card to sacrifice to just get even more card value. 1 drop Dordani. During your turn, if another character has been sidelined, he gets 1,000 BP, so he can be a 3,000 swing. And another just solid card. You just play him to fill your energy. This one doesn't have a sideline effect, but uh, gets buffs if you sideline something.
Sure, sure. 0 drop Loopy. Action point 1, draw trigger. When sideline, place the top 2 cards from your deck into your sideline.
Yeah, and again, another good 0 for the deck. So you would probably just play the Mayuri, Loopy, and then either the Sarusi, or if you really wanted, you could play the Ichigo just for like the good effect, but probably the Sarusi. And then the 2 drop Kensei and Rojuro. When played, you may pay 1 AP. If you do, play a Kensei and Rojuro card from your sideline resting on your field, and you can only activate it once a turn.
Mm,
So it is the color trigger for the Mayuri package, so you're likely to play 4 of them, as well as more copies are good. Just play them from your trash basically as you play this.
okay, so
Now you're not
essentially
able to
just,
chain it together multiple times, but
yeah, you just simply just summon him back.
yeah, and you can like play. I'd have to like reread it, but you can. I believe you can play him off the Mayuri effect, and then pay the AP to just play another one. Yeah, so if you have 2 of the Kensei and Ruderos in your trash,
Mm,
you're able to have Mayuri bring one back, use his effect to bring another one back. If you are low on hand late game,
nice, nice.
which I think it's cool that all the zombies have effects like this, just given their role if you do watch the show.
All right, that's all the blue character cards. So,
Yeah, so I think it's like just enough for the all those zombies are like fairly nice for the Mayuri to be able to fit together a deck.
we'll go into the 3 drop action point 1, get trigger Kurosochi Corpse unit. It's a site. Activate main once per turn. Sideline 1 corpse unit affinity on your field. So you don't get any benefits from that, but you get to proc their abilities. And then activate main, switch to resting once per turn. You can only activate this ability if a character on your field has been sidelined this turn. All Nemu and Korosuchi Corpse Unit Affinity characters gain 1,000 BP until the end of the turn.
Yeah, and similar to that I've been saying, like you'll probably play it due to lack of space and it's searchable, or has the searchable affinity.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's another good way to KO your characters, assuming you do not have the double energy Nemu on field. Which the Nemu is a pretty good part of the deck, just being able to each turn sideline one of your characters and get a search off.
Okay.
And then the special for the deck is who gave you permission to yap away? You sideline one of your Korotsuchi Corp affinities, and if you do, draw a card, then play up to 2 blue characters with a fulfilled energy and 1 AP, or that are Nemu or Korotsuchi Corp unit from the sideline active.
Yo.
So the special's kind of weird because it doesn't KO anything, but it lets you play 2 characters from your sideline active on your field, which is a strong effect while also sidelining one of your things, getting their effect off.
And drawing a card to replace it.
Yeah. So it's like the deck will have a obvious fault of not being able to necessarily sideline anything on its own, but hopefully can make up for that by getting enough value off all of its effects.
It's pretty cool. His name is Zangetsu?
Oh, yes, this is for the Ichigo package. We probably should have gotten this earlier, but you can just draw 2 cards, just Pot of Greed if you want.
Sheesh.
Or when this card's placed into your hand by your blue Ichigos, draw a card. So whenever you want to pitch him off like Raid Ichigo, 2-drop Ichigo, even the 0-drop Ichigo, you can draw an additional card.
Not bad.
Yeah, definitely a 4-0 for the deck.
Oh, really?
The card does look... Yeah, the card looks a little silly, just like having that huge text on bottom just not there because no trigger, but if it had a draw trigger, it'd be insane.
Alright, and that's all the blue cards.
Yeah, and I think the Corpse unit definitely looks really fun, but from what I've seen, might be the weakest of the affinities, other than Yellow Sternators.
I could see that.
But I believe the Ichigo package seems fairly strong at a glance, but we'll have to play games to see just how strong it really is.
Interesting. Alright, well, that's all the new blue archetype cards. We'll go into the purple
Moving on to
cards,
purple.
which I'm assuming are going to be the strongest, because purple is the strongest right now. We'll have to see. So first up, we have a 3-drop action point 1 double energy generation Urahaha. When played, look at top 5, reveal 1 character without raid and with no affinities among them. Add it to your hand. Place the remaining in the bottom. If you added 1, discard 1. Draw trigger.
Yeah, this card it got hindered so heavily by saying without raid, because otherwise you could I was gonna include this instantly into the purple Bleach deck for like the traditional one from Volume 1. But you're not able to start your raid Ichigos, which that would have been a huge upgrade. But I believe I still actually like it for the deck. It also only has 2,500 as opposed to 3,000, which hurts it as well. So I will those 2 things do make me want to consider not using it, but I still like it as compared to the alternative options. So I think I'll still run it as like a 2 of.
Okay.
Because I can grab your double energy Ichigo. And now here's the new Super Rare Ichigo 4/1, 4,000. Nullify Impact. And if you have 10 or more cards in the removal area, or 2 or more squad zeros in your removal area, not the sideline, it gets damage 2. And if there are 4 or more squad zeros with unique names in the removal, it also gets impact 1.
Okay.
Now, what do you think about this card on first impression?
I think it seems pretty strong. I mean, from what I know about the Bleach purple deck, you're constantly removing cards, so it's not going to be hard to have two or more squad zero with different names, just to get the double damage. Or I'm sure it's not hard to do the four either, because like you can remove. Isn't there a card that says you can remove as many as you want to kill something with the?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Squad Zero special we'll be able to when we get to it, and also in the traditional purple Bleach deck, which I believe may still be the strongest of the Bleach decks. You will not be using Squad Zero cards, unfortunately.
Okay.
But getting 10 is still not
Yeah.
extremely hard with your Rage Goes effects. So he can get damaged too late in the game.
He just will never
But
have
he,
the impact.
yeah, never have impact.
Okay. I mean, what do you
I'm
think? I think it's all
sure
right.
how much, because it does have a get trigger and
It's only one action
nullify
point.
impact, but it is missing the like some aggressiveness that the deck loves to have. I have to kind of compare it to the starter deck Rage Go as well, as just like a vanilla to play sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So it will definitely go into the deck in some form. Just unsure if it's going to be a 2 of, 3 of, or maybe even a 4 of.
Yeah, because you do end up playing a lot of your raids vanilla anyway, so might as well just have something that does
Yeah,
something.
he's better if you're doing vanilla, but the impact that the Ray does provide can be useful. Although if you're on the Squad Zero deck, he's extremely good as a 4 of.
Okay, and then we have one drop Renji, action point one, 13 court. When played, draw one, trash one.
Yeah, now if you are still on Renji Rush, this is a good upgrade to that. He doesn't have a trigger, but he fills your trash is another Renji, and solid stat line as well. I just wish he had a trigger, but otherwise you will still like him for Renji Rush.
We have two drop Byakuya.
Byakuya, when played, choose one character on the front line and give it minus 1,000 BP. And now there is no condition, so you're able to kill stuff with his effect if
Mm-hmm.
it's low enough. And similar to Renji, no trigger, so it's a little awkward, but can be helpful if you are on the Ichigo Byakuya package as opposed to the usual Renji Rush.
Okay. We have two drop Rukia, action point one. Active trigger 3000. During your turn, if you have placed a card from your hand into your sideline this turn, this character gains plus 500.
Yeah, and she's like a new addition to the, at least in Japan, she is a great addition to the Purple Bleach deck because they have the zero drop Rukia, which we do not have still. So it is a little hard to tell at the moment what the exact Purple Bleach list will look like. But if you want Rukia, she's a great addition. Like all these cards are just good additions to whichever package you are already using. But you will get extra support if you're on the Renji with her due to that new Renji. Tenjiro, he's a Squad Zero Affinity, 0/1. And then when you play him, you can look at the top card of your deck, place it on top or bottom, 0/2000, no trigger. He's good for the Squad Zeros. Another Tenjiro. There's another one in the first set, but
It's alright. No trigger.
yeah, he's he's gonna be played for being a Squad Zero, just no triggers. Obviously a little awkward on the zeros.
We have a zero, action point one, get trigger, Sinjumaru, which I'm assuming is a raid, maybe?
Yeah, he'll be the next card, the rate of her.
Four drop,
And the
action point
raid.
one, Sinjumaru. I'll get this one. Do raid. When played, place any number of Squad Zero affinity cards from your hand into your removal area, and then choose up to one character with 2,500 or less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. For each card placed into your hand from your removal area with this ability, add 1,000 for the BP range. Raid trigger.
Yeah, and Ray Trigger, and she is the boss of the deck as well. Uh, the unique thing about the Squad Zero cards is you place it directly into the removal area, as opposed to the sideline, which takes away
Mm.
from your synergy with the Raid Ichigo from set one.
Mm-hmm. But it
But
helps out your action point one four drop.
yes, they pretty much made it so they didn't synergize perfectly, so it wouldn't be too strong. And I think the Raid is a good effect. You will have to discard 2 cards to get rid of a 4,000, but it is still potentially worthwhile depending on what you're removing. And good to fill your trash with whatever names you still need for your 4-drop Ichigo. But pretty good card overall. 4 of. Oetsu another Squad Zero member. When played, look at the top card and place it on top or bottom. And when he's attacking, you may place one Squad Zero from your hand to the removal, and he will get 2,000 BP. Active trigger.
Two
And
energy.
3-1. Yep, double energy. He is another option that the main Ichigo deck from like similar to set 1. Some people will play this card just for it being a double energy with a trigger. As the only double energies that it usually plays right now are the Kisuke and the 3-drop Ichigo, which both do not have triggers.
All right. And then we have Kirio, 0-drop action point 1, draw a card.
Yeah, and another zero, the final name for the or one of the final names for the Squad Zero.
Sure.
Here's the final one.
4-drop.
Ichibe
Yep.
Hyoyosube.
Go
Yep.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
4-1, 4,000 power. He is the color trigger for Squad Zero, so you cannot use him with the 1-drop Ichigo. And when played, look at the top 4, place them on top in any order. When attacking, select an amount and reveal the top card of your deck. If it has the same energy amount, add it to hand, and if you do, you may place one card from your hand to removal. If you did not add a card, place the revealed back on top.
All right. So he's
Which,
draw 1.
yeah, he doesn't like you have to stack your top 4 and then hope you don't hit like a draw or like a just remember it if you hit a draw trigger pretty much.
Yeah, because you can't. Obviously, he doesn't have rush. So.
Which the 0-drop Tenjiro can also stack your top card. But it's not insanely strong, but it is another Ichibe, another 4,000 attacker. And
Color trigger.
yeah, and not all of them are good, but there was still one of each of the Squad Zero members from Bleach Volume 1. So you do have like alternative options if any of the Squad Zero characters here are not that good. Which but this Ichibe should be played a little bit of just for being another good attacker.
Okay. And then we have the last purple card, which is a 4-drop action point 1 site special trigger. Or no, event special trigger. Shitatsu,
Wrong.
Karagara, Shigaram, and Notsuji.
Senjumaru's Bankai.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah,
Place up to
and
3 Squad Zero affinity cards from your hand into your removal area, so you have to banish 3 from hand. Choose one character with 3,000 or less BP on your opponent's front line, and then sideline it. For each card placed from your hand into your removal area with this ability, you add a 1,000 BP range to the character that you may choose, and then for each card placed from your hand into your removal area with this ability, you draw a card.
so this is a unique special where you can just have it be a 4-1, pop a 3,000, or you can discard 1 to 3 cards and draw that many and get 1,000 power increase for each. So it helps fill your removal for whatever effects you need, while also getting whatever size character you could want to remove.
So essentially, with a lot of times with this card, you're just going to be activating it, banishing 1 from hand, killing a 4,000, drawing a card.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if you don't like your hand, like let's say you get like a clump of the 0-drop Tenjiros, which aren't really helping you, you can just like pitch all of them and pretty much cycle 3 as well. It just depends on how your hand looks at the moment.
I think it's pretty strong special.
Yeah, it's pretty strong special.
I'll put
Better
it
than
this way.
average for sure.
Yeah. All right, so that's all the purple cards. Verdict?
The purple cards, the Squad Zero definitely got a big upgrade, as there is the sight in set 1, which will get you a lot of value, but it's unsure on how the Squad Zero is going to stack up against the other decks with what I think is a slightly mediocre card quality, but just strong card value with the rest of Purple Bleach.
And
Because they could use
are there any of
a
these that
comp-
you're like immediately throwing in your current purple bleach deck? Like maybe
definitely
these
some of
two.
the yeah, definitely some of that Ichigo and the Kisuke. And then it'll truly depend on the which version of like your backup unit, whether you want Renji, Byakuya, or Rukia, since you're gonna get a little too clunky if you use multiple. Rukia looks the strongest just because she has a good raid and a trigger, but the Renji is a very strong as well that might just take the spot due to not having the mini Rukia,
Mm, yeah.
which I'm not sure if it's it's not here because it's from set 1, but there is actually one more purple card. It's if you don't want to pull it up, I
Yeah, I
can
can find
find
it.
it. It's Orihime from set 1. You're just yeah, change filter. It is the one to the right.
This one.
Yep. So this one wasn't printed in set 1 due to like power restrictions, but she's a 2-drop 1 action point. When played, you can mill 2 and just fill up your sideline for your Ichigo effects with an active trigger. And she will be an addition for the deck for the American meta. And then I'm also unsure because I have to like figure out the numbers of how many of her. Probably roughly around 3. But another good way to fill your trash for your Raid Ichigo's effect.
Yeah, it's interesting that it didn't print that. I mean, literally, Garo has the same exact card, but it's a color trigger instead of an active trigger.
Yeah, like I understand just like because Bleach was the first set, no one wanted it to be like completely dominating over every other deck.
Mm-hmm.
But they have still chosen not to print the Zero Drop Rukia, even though they printed the Orihime in this set too.
Hmm. All right. Well, if we're going on purple, we'll move into green.
Yes.
All right. So I'll start us off with Yumichika. Uh, 2-drop, action point 1, 1 energy generation. If you have a combined total of 3 or more 13 court guard squads affinities on your field, this character gains double energy generation.
Yeah, so no trigger, but he is better than your average double energy card, as getting 3 other characters is not that hard. Every character you play is going to meet the affiliation.
Yeah, notably, like, versus like something like Gojo, you could get the double energy the turn that you play it, whereas Gojo doesn't.
Yeah.
Cards
Now,
like
if you
Gojo do.
play him on turn 2, he will not have the double energy, but later in the game, he will the moment you play him.
Yeah, exactly. All
So I
right.
think he's a solid card. No trigger though. 4-drop Pinsby. He does provide double energy on the back line, but the main appeal is he is a double attack.
Oh, only
So
2,000.
yeah, only 2,000. They do like to make the double attack characters kind of weak to make up for how strong the effect is. Uh, you are able to, of course, use your other effects to buff him if you have any.
Okay, that's what I was gonna
But
ask. Yeah.
yeah, there's not a ton, but there is some in Green Bleach that can buff.
Okay.
Like there's other one of your 0-drops can buff it by 1,000, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then he is a double energy though, so you will consider playing him, just unsure.
Fair enough.
Here's Yachiru Kusajishi. Another one. There was an additional one from set 1 that, but she is 1,500 with 1 energy. Activate main, switch it to resting, and sideline her. Choose a Kenpachi on your field, and it gets impact +1. And then that's pretty much it. And there will be a relevant effect with her in your sideline for Kenpachi special, so it is a solid card. I'm
Cool.
unsure if you will use this one or the other Yachiru, because both have a solid effect
You just
to
want to
improve
go
your
ahead and
Kenpachi. What's that?
you just want to go ahead and look at that one too.
Oh, yeah, yes.
This one.
Yeah. And she will set one of your Kenpachis as active if you play it that turn. I imagine the new one will probably take her spot, but she is still pretty good as well. Uh, I don't know if you would play both of them and just use like a pure Kenpachi deck with Toshiro.
Okay. Okay. Not bad. What's the
Yeah.
gimmick of the green deck, by the way? I don't even know.
So a lot of their effects have you get a bonus effect if you have like 6 or more 13 court guard squad affiliations.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes like the new stuff can like is breaking that a little bit and just giving you different options to work with.
Okay. So now we have a 4-drop action point 1 raid Sajin, 4,000 get trigger, so not a raid trigger notably. At the start of your turn, place the top card from this rated character into your sideline. He also has nullify impact. He also has this character cannot be switched to resting or returned to your hand by an opponent's ability. And when played, you draw 2.
Yeah,
Seems
now
strong, but of course you only get it one turn.
yeah, and I think as far as I know, there's only one Sajin from set one, and I don't know if there was another one this set. So it's probably not going to see play, and not having a ray trigger hurts. Although the ray trigger wouldn't be that good given its first
Mm-hmm.
ability.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the card is very good, flavorful. I just like wish he also had an effect where he couldn't be removed by or like KO'd by a special.
Why is
So,
it flavorful?
just because not to spoil the show or so like spoiler warning, I guess. He makes it so like he's only able to survive for one fight, but he made himself basically invincible for it.
Mm, fair enough.
And yeah, he's a good card for one swing, but probably not able to see any play.
Yeah, because if you don't already know, the red black clover Asta has a very similar ability, but he has cards that help him not
Yeah,
kill himself essentially. So
yeah, and there is only one Sajin I believe that you can even raid onto, so it's unlikely to.
yeah. We have 0-drop Zenpachi, active 4 of.
Yep, 4-0 for the Kenpachi deck, and now the raid Kenpachi, 4/1, 4,000 BP, impact 1. And if the base card that you rated on top of has 4 or more energy requirement, he gets all the abilities below. The first one is if he leaves the field due to your opponent's abilities or battle, you may place the one card from your hand to the sideline instead, and then only the top card will go into the sideline.
Okay, hold on.
And when
So it has to have a 4 or less energy underneath it. So you have to rate on top of a 4.
yes, you have to
4 or
rate on top of
more.
something bigger
Yeah.
to get a bonus effects. And when played, he will get 1,000 BP and damage 2 until end of turn. So if you rate on top of something big, it's both harder to remove and impact 1 damage 2 that turn.
Okay, and you also missed this first line.
Oh, yeah. He is not affected by BP reducing abilities, similar to some of the other Kenpachis that have been printed.
Okay.
So, pretty good card and a great raid, I would say.
Yeah.
Especially
You think
given
makes it
what the
into the
deck wants.
list?
Yeah, because the current list does use a 4-drop Kenpachi that has the same first effect.
Mm.
But he will be a great addition as well as his 0. And if you just ran on top of the 0, he is still a 4-drop impact 1.
Yeah, that can't be reduced essentially
Yeah,
by
so like,
purple cards or whatever.
solid effects, but also just he's great for preserving a longer game because you can block and then after he dies, you can still have the top card to block again or the bottom card.
Mm. Into your sign. So essentially, if I'm reading this right, it'll just stay on the field. Like the thing underneath it doesn't go to the sideline. You summon it back active. It just stays on the field.
I
I
believe
guess.
so. Like that's how I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Uh, Let us know if we're wrong, but the way I'm reading it, it just stays on field active. It does not come back in resting.
Okay. All right. Then we have Shuhei, 0-drop action point 1 draw trigger. If 6 or more other 13 court guard squad affinity cards are on the field, it gains 15.
Yeah, and so it's a 0/0 with the trigger and the similar guard squad affinity effect. But I'm a little unsure if this will make the cut just because Green Bleach already has a good number of other zeros to play.
Sure. We have Toshiro.
Yep, one drop Toshiro, 2500, no trigger, one energy. When played, if you have 6 or more other 13 court guard squad, place one card from your hand to the sideline, add a Toshiro from sideline to hand, which will make its way to the deck, I imagine, even without a trigger, just because apart from being a raid target, late game, you do have to have an almost full field, but you get to play him, grab your raid back from the trash, replay the raid on top of him. Very strong synergy.
Alrighty. We have 4-drop action point 2, Shinji, which is a draw trigger. When played, choose up to one of the following. If on the front line, choose 2 characters with 2,000 or less BP and whose BP are the same on your opponent's front line and sideline them both. Or
Yep.
choose up to 1 character with 3,000 or more BP on your opponent's front line, switch to resting, and then switch this character to active.
Yeah, those are both strong effects that perform a similar removal to sneak and damage.
Yeah,
Fittingly, it's 2 AP just because they are both strong effects.
yeah, seems pretty strong card. 13 core.
Yeah, and yeah, like definitely a good card. Unsure on how much all these green cards will fit, just because a lot of light synergy.
Yeah. And then we got 0-drop, action point 1 Ikaku. When played, draw 1, trash 1, active trigger.
Yeah, that'll definitely see a spot over the Shuhei.
Okay.
Rangiku 3/1. When you play her, if you have one energy. When played, if Toshiro's on your field, play one green character with a 2 or less energy and 1 AP from the hand resting, so she's able to spam out another body for without the AP to make up for her not producing double energy.
Yeah, seems good for the deck that wants to have as many 13 court guard squad on the field.
Yeah, especially because if you're so long as you are not on the Retsu or Yamamoto versions from set 1, she the like biggest thing you play is like a 4 or 5 energy. Seems like a good addition.
Yep. And the last green card, we got 4-drop, action point 1, special, Nozarashi. Choose 1 character with 3,000 SBP on your opponent's front line, sideline it, but if Zaraki's on the field, or you have a Yachiru card in your sideline, you can do a 5,000 or less instead.
Yeah, as well as mentioning with the Yachiru earlier, and her effect does make it great. I think that seems like a great special. I will have to imagine it takes the spot of Daigo and Hiranmaru if you're using like a Toshiro Kenpachi deck. But I suppose won't know for sure just because Hiranmaru was a great special as well.
All right, an overall verdict on the green.
Yeah, and that just about covers it, unless you want to look at the action points, but nothing really to them.
So what's your verdict on the new green cards?
I think the green cards, the Kenpachi stuff, if nothing else, is a great addition. There was like the Shinji, I'm unsure on being a 2 AP card. Like he's generically strong, just doesn't really have the synergy. But they do seem like a good addition to an already existing deck. I'm just unsure on how they will compete against the non-Bleach decks, I should put it.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it for the Bleach Volume 2 card review. We looked over every single card, and we got a pro's opinion on the Bleach stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
Any overall concluding thoughts, Aaron?
Yeah, I was gonna just like rank what I think the personal Bleach decks are right now.
Yep.
I would say like they didn't get much support in this, but the yellow Stern Ritters still feel like the weakest. And then I think that the blue Mayuri stuff doesn't seem amazing either, although good effects. Green, it's still I would say there's a considerable gap, and I think green is still a good deck. Just didn't get as heavy of support, but the Kenpachi does give it a big boost. And then I believe the purple Squad Zero and the blue Ichigo decks are both quite strong contenders as well. But purple Bleach may still be the best. But it's worth definitely worth testing if and yellow Bambies is probably on the same level as like the maybe just under the blue Ichigo and purple Squad Zero.
All right.
And those are just my opinions, so I'll have to like test it myself just to see if that opinion holds up. But
Yeah, so expect to see some Bleach Volume 2 games on the channel coming soon. Once we get the cards and we can actually sit down and play some games. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Otherwise, make sure to like and subscribe to the Culver's Crew UA channel. This has been Plastic Beach and Aaron of the Culver's Crew UA, and peace out.